past. I'm the one in three, and it cost me my health. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Earlier on my post, I mentioned that I was going to be sharing my story, telling you how I got to the blueprint, this blueprint, and I'm going to go ahead and answer your questions. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're having an amazing Friday. I love Fridays. So I'm gonna give you a few trigger warnings before I get started. Um, you know, because of my story, I'm gonna share my story with you guys. Oh, hi guys, welcome, welcome. Because I'm gonna be sharing my story with you guys, I am gonna be giving you a few trigger warnings. And then again, like I said, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my story, how I got to the blueprint, to this blueprint, and I'm going to be answering your questions. So I'm so excited to see you guys here. Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you guys because, this is something that not that I've been necessarily avoiding because I have talked about my health conditions and everything else, and the blueprint, but I've never really talked about it in the way that I feel like God has asked me to speak about it. So I am going to go a little bit into detail, and that's why I need to give you some trigger warnings. So trigger warnings for DV and just chronic illness and mental health, which is why like what is for me life now. But so we're gonna get to that, and then we're gonna talk about the my son is laughing at me, it's so funny. Anyway, how I got to the blueprint, and I'll answer your questions. What do you do for a question I can make? Can you rephrase that? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, please. And okay, so basically, to get to the point, the story starts when I was a kid in high school. I was in this, I met another kid in high school, and, it was a really horrible story just to get to the point, right? And I was able to, I had two boys with him, when we were younger. And I was able to get away from him when I was like in 2009 or 10. My kids were already a little bit older. Hi, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys. Hi. Thank you for joining. I'm so excited to connect with you guys today. But so that was part of as part of this story. It was 10 years of really hard things. Oh, okay, okay, thank you. Yeah. So this is a little bit of the backstory. Earlier, Abyss, thank you for your question. So yeah, basically earlier on my post earlier, I had mentioned to you guys that I was gonna come on and share my story with you guys and tell you about the blueprint, which is my products, this blueprint, the Legacy Builders program. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today about the blueprint mainly. This is what the channel is for, but basically how the backstory actually. So this is a great time for you to be here because I'm actually sharing the backstory of how I got to finding this blueprint and what it's now doing for me today. So that's actually the backstory about it. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining today. So excited to connect with you guys today. So, continue telling you the story. Um, to me, because I was I was basically a single mom. He never, helped me with the kids or anything. So to me, it was so important that I was able to be with my kids most of the time. Like it was important for me to be able to be with them. That's how I actually ended up working at my children's school. But what was so important was that I actually was able to manage my time because being a single mom is really, really hard to, having to take the kids to school, like running back and forth. And back then, I didn't even have a car. So it was like a lot of buses here in the morning, buses there in the afternoon. So it was, thank you so much, you guys. Well, thank you for subscribing. I love that. Thank you. I'm really appreciative of your subscriptions. I'm so excited. I'm at 81 now. That is amazing. So, as a single mom, having to juggle with all of those things, it was really important for me to be able to have the time and the ability to be either close to my kids in a place where I can actually, keep an eye on them and stuff like that. So that was really important for me, right? And so I always needed something that was flexible when it came to time, time and how I, where I work and how I made an income. So at the time that I was working at the school that they were in, I was actually going to school to get my real estate license. And in 2015, I actually ended up getting my real estate license. And I was like, that's it. This is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the thing that is gonna work. It's gonna get us out of all this, financial struggle. I held the license for about maybe I want to say 3 to 5 years. I wasn't practicing, but I was paying the fees. If you guys, any of you guys know about real estate, it's, even if you're not working, if you're not making the money, you still have to pay those fees to be able to get access to the MLS and all that cool stuff, right? So I was so excited because I was like, you know what? I'm really, it is a little bit personal, so I'm not gonna answer, but thank you for asking. No, no, I'm actually I have two boys. So they're not boys anymore, but yeah, thank you. Sure, Michaela, awesome, Michaela. uh Hello, hello, welcome. Thank you guys. Okay, so that was like the thing when I was actually, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to be able to do good. I'm gonna be my own boss. I'm gonna be able to make money. I'm gonna be able to take care of my kids the way that I want to. And that's what I thought when I got my real estate license, that was gonna be the path that I was gonna follow, right? And it wasn't necessarily what was in plans for my life, for my journey. I guess it wasn't what it was because in 2015 I got my license. I was still working at the school district, so I was doing both the school district, 30 hours a week, being single mom, basically taking care of the kids, and then I was trying to do at least for to get started, to get my feet wet in real estate, to do rentals. So I was doing rentals. I was driving all over the city showing rentals, you know what I mean? So that's how I was, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it happen. I can do this. I know it's, in my mind, because I'm the type of person that always gets things done. You know what I mean? Like if I set my mind to it, I'm gonna get it done. Like even the real estate license, it actually took me a second to like to pass both of the exams because I have to pass the Nevada and the other ones. I was like, okay, it took me a while, but I got it done. You know what I mean? When I set my mind to things, I get things done. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna continue to work, and once I start making more money, I'm gonna be able to actually just be a full-time realtor. That was the plan. So that was 2015. I was working my way to that, like trying to get a few homes sold and stuff like that. And in 2017, I oh, that's awesome. Cool, cool, cool. You're in Nevada, yes. That's awesome. Yeah, awesome. And so that's what I thought I was gonna do. But then come 2017, I actually thought one winter that I was getting the flu. And the flu is like whatever, usually think that I'm usually very, very healthy person. So I was like, oh, the flu, it's nothing. I'll just, if anything, I'll just rest. And it wasn't like the flu because I didn't have anything that was like I wasn't coughing, I didn't have a runny nose, none of that. And it was just the achiness of my body, and everything was just like I felt drained, like just exactly how you feel when you get the flu. That was the feeling that I was having, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I continued to keep getting migraines. And then, I was just really uncomfortable and getting like really, really anxious. So I went to the doctor and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel like I have the flu, but I don't have, there's nothing else going on. It's just the exhaustion and the achiness of my body that is, that's happening. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna check this and this and that. I'm gonna send you to neurology because of the migraines. They were like, okay, something's going on. So welcome, guys. Thank you for joining. And so I was actually okay. So the neurologist is like, okay, because I was explaining the migraines and what was going on, and he was like, it sounds like you have fibromyalgia. And I was like, what is that? He's like, well, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. He's like, I'm gonna send you to a rheumatologist, and they're gonna tell you what's going on. And thank you for the love, you guys. And so They sent me to the dermatologist. I did whatever test that I had to do, and she's like, "Yeah, you have fibromyalgia." And again, telling you guys how I was like, I'm always like very healthy. I eat healthy. And I used to always exercise, like really, really exercise. And I was very active and I had a lot of energy. So I was like, you know what? This is something that I'm going to be able to overcome. It's not going to be anything. I'm going to be able to actually overcome it and I'll be okay. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining. Let me know where you're joining from. And so that's what I thought what was going to happen. And it wasn't at all like that. It like if any of you guys have fibromyalgia or know about someone who has fibromyalgia, you understand how insane this illness is. It's like you look fine from the outside most of the times, but the inside, it's the pain, the exhaustion, the fatigue, all of those things are like that's all you can focus on basically. Like that's all you can do. Like if you're having a flare up, that's basically all it consumes you because there's not much that you can do to stop it. You know what I mean? It's just it takes over you. It's like it's a flare up. It just happens and it happens and that's what happens. You know what I mean? So because of the way that it attacks our bodies and what it does to our health, because it's not just like pain, it's actually like really bad mental fog, which I don't even drive anymore because I'm like so scared that if I can't, my brain is fogging at the moment, that like I don't want to put myself in that type of situation. Walking some days is hard. The way that I used to exercise, I used to do really heavy cardio back in the days before I was diagnosed. Now I do yin yoga and that's like the most that I can do. I can't, do a lot of crazy physical activity like I used to before. So it's a lot of things that attacks the body. And then it's hard in that way to be able to actually have financial stability when your body is going through that type of struggle. So that is, the part of the story that kind of sort of brought me to start, looking for something that I can still generate an income, but that was an easier thing for me to do, because with all the things that I have to experience during the day, and it's so, I want to say like volatile, like you just cannot contain it or kind of sort of like, oh, okay, well, tomorrow I'm not going to feel like, you don't know, you don't feel, you feel good right now. And then later on you might be like, feel like you're dying. It's really, really insane how it actually works on your body. And the more that it progressed at that time, I could not, I could not keep plans for anything, not even for myself, for, for fun, not for anything, not for work, not for anything. So back in, so the way that this basically ties to, fibromyalgia with the story that I was telling you guys about earlier, that, because of the DV and all of those issues that I had back then, this is the result of what happened with my health. So now, because of those actions back in the past, I ended up with a disability that now it causes me to not be able to, at that time, provide for myself. You know what I mean? So that's like, I was doing the search for the statistics, as in it's like 1 in 3 women are struggling with situations like this. And, a lot of us, like, people just kind of sort of like brush it off. It's like, oh, well, that's just a thing that happens to women. But it's like, no, it shouldn't be. And it's more than we understand that it does, And when it comes to me, like, if it's like really to the extreme point that it was to cause me to become disabled, uh, what does the Six say at Las Vegas? Uh, well, it sounds like it is, but it's not. Sorry, I just read the message. So because of that, now I'm not able to actually keep a traditional 9 to 5. So that's how I actually ended up looking for something that I could do. And, with the story that I was telling you earlier, I was already in real estate. I've been an entrepreneur. I've been trying to, because I'm not the type of person that wants to be stuck with a boss. I'm not the type of person that is like, oh, you need to be here at this time, and if you're not here, you get fired. Like, I don't appreciate any of those type of like situations where people like really have you like, oh, you sign up to be here and your time is my time. I never really appreciated that about how like an employer relationship works, right? Like, I'm gonna pay you what I'm gonna pay you. You're gonna, do what I say. If you don't do what I say, I'm gonna write you up. Or like, and then sometimes it's just silly things that you're like, even for example, like an emergency with your children, like let's just say your child needs to go to the hospital and they tell you, you know what, no, you can't take your child to the hospital because you need to be here. And if you leave, you're gonna get either written up or fired. You know what I mean? Like the power that these companies have over you, and you're just really trying to provide for your family. You're trying to provide for yourself. You're trying to provide for your children. That's the type of thing that I was looking for. I was looking to have that freedom of time and have freedom of being able to make the money so that you could actually make the memories. And that's what this blueprint has been able to allow me to do, where I'm not stressed out. Like I shared with you guys at the beginning of the week, I was feeling really, really like in a lot of pain. When I get in that much pain, my brain fogs so terribly that I cannot think about anything else. Like I can't put sentences together. Like one piece of content of like 30 seconds might take me like 20 something minutes. Like it's really bad when the brain fog gets that bad that I'm able to focus on anything because of the pain, and like the words that from my brain to my mouth, they just don't come out the way that they need to. You know what I mean? Like, so all of those things, sometimes it feels like, for me, it's a little bit sometimes hard to share my story because it's like, what does that have to do with you making money? But this is the way that I was actually able to have an income without having to leave my home, from the comfort of my bed. Sometimes I work from my bed because if that's all I can do, that's all I can do. But because of this blueprint, I actually have a way to be able to do those things without having to have the worry about like, oh my God, if I call off again, am I gonna get fired? Because I was already getting to that point where the only thing that I could do is like go day by day. And if I could make it to work, I could make it to work. And if I couldn't even really truly get out of bed, that I would like just have to call off and that would be it. And the stress of having to call off that many times when you're already here, the voice in your manager of like, oh, you're calling off again, really? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, and it's nothing that I can control, you guys. A lot of people, because they see people with disabilities that you cannot see anything from the outside, they look at us really, really like mean. Like the looks are terrible. Like, oh, you're not. Like, even when I used to drive, like if I had like the disabled card on thing, people be like, you don't look disabled. Like, you know what I mean? It's really, really hard. Like that looks, I think people don't even realize it, but just like they just don't believe you sometimes. But then inside you're really struggling to just stand, like do anything really, just survive. So when it came for me to have to be able to make an income, this is what has been able to allow me to do what I need to do and be able to take care of my health. So that's what the blueprint has done. What I wanted to talk to you guys about, or really what I wanted to just basically do, is give you talk about the 2-hour workday that I was telling you about on the piece of content that I posted earlier at 5-ish. So the 2-hour workday and then the automated system. And then I'm just going to go ahead and answer your questions. So the 2-hour workday, it really is just the 2 hours a day. So when you join the community, because it's a community, it's an interactive program that you purchase basically. When you join the community, you have all the modules on how to do what, and it's step by step. Like you get started with how you do your automated system, how to set it up, how to set up your bank so that to get deposited, and all of those things that you need to set up in order to get your website up and running. So all of those, the modules are on there, and the community again is interactive. So like if at any given time you have a question, you go in the community, you post, and most likely within an hour you'll have enough answers for you to be able to figure out what the issue is. You have weekly calls for tech. You have weekly mentoring with the Legacy Builders program. and you have daily coaching as well when you join the community. So we're doing a 90-day run right now. With that, you get daily coaching where you know, like the mentor that I mentioned, I spoke to you guys about yesterday. She gives us daily coaching. So like just a piece of content, it might be like a 2-3 minute video, and it teaches you something, and it just helps you. Thank you so much, Abyss. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry, I just saw that. I'm like talking and talking. I hope you're still here. Thank you so much. And so the 2-hour workday, the system is basically get your pieces of content done during the 2 hours, answer emails and comments, and then do the either 30 minutes of live, or you know, a live content, piece of content, or do copy paste ads on free ads on free webinars. So that's basically what you do. The like we call it the income producing activities. So you do the 3 pieces of content that should take you like the 1 hour, the 30 minutes for you to do a live, or the copy paste. The copy paste free ads on the free websites. That's also a video that you'll learn how to exactly do that. And then you'll put another 30 minutes to do the answering the emails. You know, when people send you emails and comments, you just basically put 30 minutes on the clock and just answer all of them. That's basically what you do during the 2 hours. Hi, welcome. So that's basically what you do during the 2 hours, the 2 hour workday. And the automated system, when you set up your automated system, and you know, because again, you are taught how to do it with the modules, and again, it's so like it's newbie friendly. You don't have to be techie, you don't have to know anything about technology at all. That's basically what you purchase the program for, to be able to learn how to do all of those things. And that's basically what you're taught how to plug in, to be able to have, when you get your prospects into your funnel, the automated system actually follows up with them. So let's say that right now, for example, when you go to miriamsdailypay.com, my website, you actually, I'll send you an email with the information for the blueprint and the 4 different products that I offer. Now, my automated system is actually going to be following with you for the next 30 days with an email to let you know more about, you know, like updates and everything else that the products, you know, offers and everything else. So I set that automated system one time, and it does that for every single person who wants to learn more about the blueprint. So what happens is that you'll receive their Free Freedom Formula Blueprint, which is basically a step-by-step guide that will help you leverage a proven blueprint and turn it into a profitable online business. That is free access that I give you guys. And then that's a PDF that you'll receive. And then you also receive a video that explains from, you know, the products, how we actually, you know, make a daily pay, you know, how much you can actually make, because you make, you know, depending on the product that you purchase, and, you know, how you're actually able to leverage the master resale rights to be able to make 100% on your commission. So you don't have to share your commissions with anyone. You basically, you know, whatever the product that you are selling, again, like the Legacy Builders program comes actually with 4 different incomes that you'll be able to start making money right away. Most of the people actually have everything set up within the 48 hours that they purchase the product. And you know, that means basically you're able to start promoting it, and then you're also able to start taking payments right away as well. So that, and then again, you make the 100% profit. So those are all the things that you get access to with the program. And that's basically most of the things that you have to do during the day. So just basically, the automated system is already running on its own for you 24/7. That's what the purpose of all of this is, to simplify our time so that we don't have to be, you know, struggling with time. You know, like I've mentioned to you guys before, you're actually looking for something, a different source of income, or to generate additional income because you want to make things simpler for yourself, not because you want to have more work to do or more headaches during your day. You just want to make sure that you're making extra money here and there, right? And again, it just depends on what your goals are. You have seen, all the ones that I put in the community, on the post here on YouTube, of people who are actually really truly making a difference. I tell you guys the story of Amy, who had two full-time jobs, and that was for her. To her, that was already enough. It was a situation that she needed to change, and she needed to do something for herself and for her family. And that's why she just decided that she needed something different. And when she saw that this only takes 2 hours to implement a day, she was like, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know how it works. So she, again, like most of us, she wasn't tech savvy. She was a waitress and a trucker. And she was like, I didn't even have time for social media. So I didn't use social media. But her daughter wanted her to have her daughter wanted her to watch her videos, dancing videos. And she was like, Mom, please come on, get TikTok so that I can show you my videos. So her daughter actually ended up setting up an account for her on TikTok, and that's how she ended up actually finding the blueprint. Someone, our mentor, was the one that made the content, and she saw that content that it said only 2 hours a day to implement. And that's what got her attention, because she was looking to have more time freedom. She was looking for to be able to have them, because she was saying like, I'm not concerned about the money, because she was making good money. She had two full-time jobs. But she was like, I wasn't concerned about the money. It was more about the fact that she was not able to have a relationship with her children anymore, because she was just really literally bumping into them, like on the hallway, like on her way to her second job. So she was just really looking to have that ability to stop having to trade hours for dollars. You know what I mean? She was just basically done with that. She's like, I don't have, like, there's only so many hours during the day. And she was already given all her hours during the day for this job, and she was losing her kids. So that's why, to her, when she saw this opportunity and she was like, okay, I need to learn more, she actually just got onto a webinar. She got, once she got into the system, the automated system actually sent her an invitation for a webinar. And basically the rest is history. That also happened to me. Like, when I saw the webinar, I was like, for sure, when I'm able to, because I didn't have the money at that time. And excuse me, I was like, as soon as I have the money, I'm gonna jump in, because I was like, sometimes you're like, you risk so much, or you spend money on things that really don't matter. Like, a lot of people have a gigantic TV on their living room that costs $1,000, but like, what is that doing for you? Like, how is that making you money? You know what I mean? So that's type of like the mentality of some people. Are like, oh, if it costs that much, but it's just like, look at the investment, the type of investment that you're actually getting back. You know what I mean? And I actually started with the passive daily pay blueprint, which is only $300, because that's all I could afford at that time. But now I actually have been able to upgrade to the Legacy Builders program, which is $900. So now I get to make up to $900 for one single customer. You know what I mean? Like, with the skills that I've been taught, because again, I wasn't tech savvy. I wasn't, I didn't know what you had to do to be able to have access to live here on YouTube. It took me a while to get here. You know what I mean? Like, it was work that I put, but I was like, I was, towards a goal of getting to have access to YouTube live. You know what I mean? YouTube is a very important platform, so you want to make sure that you get into it, right? So it's just like, it took me a while to get to you guys to be able to connect like this, but now here we are, and now I have the ability to be able to communicate with the people that I need to help with these products. Because again, this is what basically what I was looking for, because when I couldn't work anymore, like, I keep the traditional 9 to 5 life, I was not able to generate money because I wasn't able to work. You know what I mean? So even if I didn't show up to work, I wasn't gonna be making any money. So now I work only the 2 hours a day, and then I make it, my automated system is working for me in the background. Anyone who is looking for the information, all they have to do, like I said, is go to miriamsdailypay.com, to my website, and my automated system would do the rest of the work for me. So that's the simplicity of, like, yes, you get to, you know, learn the skills and actually earn at the same time. So you're implementing the skills, you're becoming this different person. Like, you'll become, it's like almost like a different identity, you know what I mean? Because you're actually learning so many things. You're learning really, really valuable skills with this that you can actually later on, like I've told you guys in my post before, you can actually turn them around or like put them towards a different business. So like, if you, once you learn, how these products work, like, because they're digital products, and you're able to learn all the skills to create a product from scratch, to be able to launch the product, to be able to even like have a community of your own, like all of those skills that can actually make you money, and all from your phone, you know what I mean, like just from your phone. Like, that's what this blueprint gives you, like the skills and knowledge to be able to have different sources of income, just not one. Like with this, I think I posted about Christine last week. And so she started with the blueprint, right, you guys? And then she, because of being in this part of this community, she learned the skills to actually have her own community. So now she has her own community where she has, her own clients, her own people that she teaches, people that she leads. And then on top of that, now she's learned the skills to become a public speaker. And now last time the post that I put there was she charged $700 for that one session. I forgot for how many hours. But can you imagine? Like, it's time to learn those type of skills that can actually make you that type of money, because it's not magic. It's literal skills that you learn and then you apply. And that's how, what you're able to charge for those type of skills. It's just a skill that you're learning, basically. You know what I mean? And those are all the amazing things that you can actually learn with this blueprint. So if you guys want to learn more the details of everything that I've been telling you guys about, the blueprint, the automated system, how you can actually make 100% profit, all you have to do is go to miriamsdailypay.com, and that's where you find all the details. Again, the website is Miriam's, so it's basically the name that on my channel right here, miriamsdailypay.com. Again, that's where you'll find all the information of all the details that I've just talked to you guys about right now, the 2-hour workday, the automated system, how you can make 100% profit, and actually the 4 different products and the prices. And even in the US, I do actually have payment plans, if case, like how I started when I only had the $300, then I had to upgrade to the other one. Whatever fits your needs, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people just want to learn a little bit, and they just might want to use the first product, which is the Launchpad. Perfect. Maybe you just want to learn a little bit about digital marketing and everything like that. That's what the Launchpad does. Whatever that you need, just go check it out. My website has all the information. Again, it's miriamsdailypay.com, where you find the information of the products, the details, the prices, and how you're actually able to generate 100% profit. So you don't have to share your earnings with anyone. You just are learning skills, and then you're, earning while you're learning, basically. So thank you so much for your time today, guys. I'm gonna have to go, let you guys go, but I really appreciate you guys for the love, for subscribing, for listening, for just willing to listen to something that can potentially benefit your life too. I'm so excited to continue to show up with you, for you guys. I just continue to share this story, and being on the mission that God wants me to be on, helping the mamas that once have struggled, like I've struggled with all those things I shared with you guys earlier. But we're resilient, and we're just on a mission to please God, and do what God said we needed to do. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm just grateful that you guys were willing to listen to it. And thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed weekend. God willing, I will talk to you guys again on Monday. Again, go to miriamsdailypay.com to get more information from the blueprint, and I'll talk to you guys Monday. Thank you. Bye.